All right. First and foremost, Happy New Year. This is the first time you all have seen us since the new year. And typically we would have this show, last week, but things happened. But we wanted to make sure we finished off this season by giving appropriate, conclusion and notoriety to these players here. Welcome to the award show, the Destination Fantasy Podcast. Here with my brother Deshaun. How you doing this morning?
Man, alive and well. Especially considering that we had great football this past week. Not only from the collegiate level to the NFL level as well. Man, we just it's good times right now, Jamar. For what? Yeah, man. Like those games yesterday were everything that football fans can dream of. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Jamar, take the floor away just real quick. Go ahead and talk about your Bears, man. That game was phenomenal. Before we jump into it,
Um, yeah, so I think I went into cardiac arrest about 5 times in that game. My anxiety level was over 9,000. Um, no, I mean it's been the Bears the whole year, pretty much. They had us in the first half, and I ain't gonna lie. It was dude. I- like these storybook endings to games. I don't know if I can fully get used to, but I just appreciate the moments here. When it mattered most, Caleb came to play. The defense came to play. The playmakers came to play. Um, Soldier Field was electric. Um, you know, the reason why we the 2 seed and had the home field advantage, and that was a big pivotal factor in the win. The
100%.
fact that it was against the Green Bay Packers at all teams, the Green Bay Packers. For a third time this year, we meet them. We have beat them the last 2 times, and the way Ben Johnson just iced Matt Lafleur on the handshake, just like he did us,
Yep.
and and everything else you need to know is just listen to Ben Johnson's post game in the locker room. In the first probably 10 seconds, he meant what he said, and I mean it too. FGB, let's go.
Nah, I mean, yeah, you pretty much said it. I'm pretty sure that all Bears fans are sleeping well. Slept well last night across all Chicagoland, man. Like you said, your heart skipped a beat last night when I was
Man,
talking to you, man, because it's yeah, man, like that first half is just I just want to point out fourth quarter Caleb is like a real thing, man. Like it really is. And like I said before, bro, if they can actually put together 3 early quarters of football and not wait until the fourth. Now you guys skipped away with the Packers, you know what I mean? Still a good football team. I think Jordan Love played really well. Though, like all the wide receivers that they have were on display. Even Matthew Golden
man,
a showing last night.
that pissed me off.
Um, yeah, and and even from a fantasy perspective, he was drafted really high because the injury to Christian Watson early on and Jaden Reed, and everybody thought that he was going to show his tail early. Didn't. I mean, it took him, until to get to the playoffs to get his first TD, but it was definitely a good one, man. I'm pretty sure that we'll be seeing that up on Sports Center here real soon.
Oh yeah. All right. So enough of that. We're gonna get into these awards, and at the end, you know what? For the last, I guess, going away present, we're gonna get this TD parlay together because we got 3 games today. Anyway, what you want to start with first?
Man, first I want to start with the good stuff, bro. There's no need to go straight to like the bad. So, ADP heroes, man. Last start there.
All right.
Yeah, so I went through a list, man, and there was so many ways that I could have done this, but I just kind of wanted to throw out there like the names that people kind of pick like a little bit later, and they still made an impact in the game this year, man. So I got a couple of quarterbacks. Jamar, one is in the race for MVP as we speak, um, and that guy is Drake May. Look, Drake May finished as QB2, right behind Mr. QB1 himself, Josh Allen. Drake May was phenomenal. A lot of people want to base that based on, the strength of schedule or blah, 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 who you play a weak division. However, you still have to play the game. You still have to play an opponent that is in front of you. And, any given Sunday, he was phenomenal all year. You know what I mean? So, like, that's the reason why he's an MVP candidate. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and clap it up for Mr. MVP. Drake May. Right now, I don't know who you would say, Jamar. It's a tight race between him and Matthew Stafford, probably. But outside of those two, I don't think it should go to any other person.
I mean, I'm with you on that. Dude, Drake May. I mean, just from the eye test alone, like he passed flying colors. And then just his impact this year, making the Patriots relevant, and then of course the fantasy perspective, just week in and week out putting up multiple touchdowns. I mean, we saw last year that he had a little bit of we saw some glimpses last year. The floor was pretty solid for him as far because he can use his legs as well, but the pinpoint accuracy this year really turned up, driving the ball downfield. Even in the games that you didn't think he was going to put up points, he definitely did that and showed out. And the teams that he was supposed to put up points with, he definitely did that. Yep. So, needless to say, I mean, Drake May, I mean, he definitely destroyed the ADP.
No, for sure. And finishing number 2, like that ain't no easy task. Like typically you will see a Lamar Jackson, a Jalen Hurts, somebody there, but Drake May is in his second year, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Second year, and he's looking like basically an All-Pro. I think he did make an All-Pro team, right?
He did.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, shout out to him. But moving on, so another quarterback I got right here, Trevor Lawrence, man. Look. Coming out of Clemson, Trevor Lawrence, aka Sunshine, was dubbed the next best thing since Manning, Brady, whoever it may be. But a lot of people was calling him a bust. Jamar, for like a few seasons of his career, but pull a Liam Cohen from a Bucs team, slap him with Trevor Lawrence, and it looks like you got a top 4 MVP candidate. Jamar and Trevor Lawrence, because he was spectacular, not only in real life, but in fantasy as well. I just can't say enough good things about him. After finishing, it looks like, hold on real quick. Last year, Trevor Lawrence finished, I think, QB. Give me a second here. My phone tripping. He finished QB 27, Jamar. QB 27. So fast forward to the end of this year, Trevor Lawrence finishes QB 4. You know what I mean? He missed some games last year, but to be able to make that jump the way that they did, I think they only won 3 games last year, or something like that. I know it was either 3 or 4, but to actually reverse the record, so quickly, you got to tip your hat to Cohen and the rest of those Jacksonville Jaguars, especially the man on the center, Trevor Lawrence.
Well, man, like, especially the second half of the year when Jacksonville pretty much went on that run. What was it? They won 8 out their last 9 or something of the sort. Like
hottest team basically going into the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Trevor came to play. I mean, his greatest total was in week 15, where he dropped 44.3 fantasy points, which is, absurd. And I forgot who they played, but I remember that game. They just continues to run up the scoreboard. It was eye-opening on that one. But yeah, nevertheless, Trevor Lawrence definitely did his thing. Do you have any more quarterbacks on the list?
I got one more, man.
What you got?
I got Jackson Dart. Like, I had to throw him on there, considering the fact that he was the quarterback 2 to start the year, correct? I
3.
think
He was
yeah,
QB3 on
QB3.
this
There you
team.
go. Yep. And when he got in, he didn't look back. The only thing he kind of more so need to fix is that reckless playing style of his. I get it. The kid wants to run, which us as fantasy managers love. We love that extra ability with his legs. But the loss of Cam Scatterbo, the loss of Malik Neighbors, what could have been, Jamar, with a healthier offense going here? I know Robinson was fantastic, a name we may hear later in today's show, but I'm just saying, like, for him to be a rookie, no pressure to just go out there and lose arguably his two best, well, not arguably, his two best offensive assets. You know what I mean? That was tough for him, but, I think he had a hell of a rookie year.
No, he definitely did. I mean, and definitely brought some excitement to that fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as he gets the right coach in this, next coaching carousel that's happening right now, I feel like, and I told you in the chat, like I would take the team seriously depending on the coach. I would.
Mm-hmm.
I really would going into 26. And then just a couple things just to point out with the quarterbacks. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, even though he tore his ACL, he still finished as a top 10 quarterback on the year, which is absurd. The likes of Lamar Jackson, QB 20. I mean, granted, he was out for look like 3 games here.
Don't matter.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
My boy, Caleb finished QB 6 on the year. I just want to throw that out there. And I find this, fascinating. And then the last one here, Jacoby Brissett, who, second half hero by far. I mean, he finished QB 17 on the year.
Yep.
He didn't play half the games, and he finished higher than majority quarterbacks started the whole year. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, that is a valid point. He definitely deserves some love. And that offense was actually competent when he was under center, man. It looked more fluid. It looked like the way that it should have been ran with Kyler Murray under center. And I think we have probably seen it like our last, year of Kyler Murray and with the Cardinals organization. So we'll see going forward, but I'm willing to bet the house on that one.
Yeah, same. Is he gonna end up in some black and gold or no?
That's what I've been hearing, man. You know what? Anything right now will do for us. We need a bridge quarterback right now. I mean, you a college football fan. It ain't too many home run quarterbacks in this draft this year. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy because entering this year, it was saying this was a pretty good quarterback class, and then all of a sudden, I guess between injuries and just some players didn't live up to expectations. It kind of like fizzled a little bit.
Fast.
So, all right, yeah. You want to move on to running backs?
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to running backs. Like, you know what? He was third on this list, but let's go ahead and bump him up, Jamar. Let's go ahead and bump him up because you and I both, I'm pretty sure he helped us win the fantasy championship. You know what I mean? Chase Brown, man. Chase Brown was fantastic, bro. He was fantastic. You and I both been saying it all year. I know it was a rocky start, bro. Rocky start against some tougher run defenses. Joe Burrow not being under center. You know what I mean? That didn't help. And then I think they made the switch to Flacco, right? Because it wasn't Flacco to like actually start. It was
I mean, Burrow started, Burrow got hurt, and Flacco, they traded for, it was Browning.
There we go. Browning. Yep.
Then they traded for Flacco.
So once Flacco got in, then we started to really see Chase Brown cook. And sometimes, man, like you got to look at like the full schedule and just that back half, bro. Like I was telling everybody, hang on to Chase Brown. Don't trade him. Bro, he was good, bro. He was good. And he is the reason why I won one of my leagues this year, man. Huge reason why.
So I would say this. So prior to week 8, his highest fantasy total was 13.1, and that was in week 1. From week 8 on, the lowest he had was 15, but he eclipsed 23 times, the lowest being 25.5, the highest being 32.9 in week
Mm.
16, which catapulted a lot of people to the finals at that point. So I want to say Chase Brown was a top, at least a top five running back from week 8 on at that point. So,
Oh, for sure. I mean, you and I both really don't even need to look at that one. I'm pretty sure that one is pretty much in the bag. Not only that, Jamar, like he was using both, the run game and the passing game. It was just his TD over that span going into the fantasy playoffs. Like he was fantastic, bro. I mean, absolutely ridiculously good. So
yeah,
shout out to Chase Brown. I just had to just go ahead and bump him up real quick because you and I talked heavy about him. You know what I mean? So let's get back to Trevor Lawrence's one of his backfield buddy
man.
and his college buddy, Travis Etienne. They all but wrote that man off, man. Like, so they brought in another running back there, and they cut. Oh, dang it! What was the back's
Tank,
name, bro?
Tank Bigsby, they
Tane Biz,
traded him off.
and brought in Tootin
Yep.
or whatever. So we're thinking like, okay, it's going to be a committee. That man said, nah. That man said, with the Liam Cohen thing, I think that was probably the best thing that can happen to not only this franchise and just Duval altogether, but just for the likes of that offense, bro.
Duval.
Because he is an offensive guy. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
bro, they really did show it. So man, big shout out to Travis Etienne, bro. For everybody that picked him up, you know what I mean? For pretty much picking him up as a RB2. Pretty much in some cases RB3s, man. Like I know that he
Hmm.
was in people flex spots, man. But to be able to get that value out of a guy like that, man, kudos to you.
Absolutely. And he finished what, RB10 on the year?
Mm, RB1, man. That is a strong RB1 right there. So no matter what league you in, that man finished as an RB1. So he
Correct.
he was he was he was very, very good. Oh man, I'm gonna let you take it away with this one, man. DeAndre Swift. What can you say about him, Jamar?
Man, that's another person that, a lot of people felt that was written off, right?
Yep.
Entering this year, this was a very make or break year for him. Considering, and then playing with the fact that it's Ben Johnson's first year, so maybe there might have been a learning curve altogether, even though he was in the Ben Johnson system back in Detroit. But
Mhm.
nevertheless, when the Bears started to utilize the running game, pretty much from week 6 on, DeAndre Swift listen to these points: 25.5, 20.8,
Mm.
15.1. He ended up missing the game. 14.8, 9 and 1.9. And it was a stretch where it got a little ugly, but nevertheless, 20.8, 11.2, 22.6, 9, and then 21.9. And this considering he had to split the backfield with Cal Monungai.
Yep.
So both of them at one point was pretty much definitely flex worthy options. And at pretty much the Philly game, that really much solidified the fact that, DeAndre Swift is a real thing. And you able to go into the city of brotherly love on Black Friday in a primetime event and just go in there and just um, BTA across the board and just physically dominate the game from start to finish in
Mhm.
that aspect. No, DeAndre Swift is and then yesterday, he was part of the reason why we won the game. So it's like, hey man, he's a baller, man. He deserves his flowers for sure.
No, for sure. And I think we're seeing a lot of that going forward. We seeing it with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. We've seen it with David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. I think that dual running back, like it spells a guy, but when you have two of the caliber of Monungai who played fantastic with DeAndre Swift, you got one of the better backfields in the NFL. And speaking of another dual backfield, I'm gonna speak on mine for a little bit here, Jamar, which is kind of crazy to think. Jags to the Super Bowl, Foxborough.
What's up, man? Jack. Hey, that means Jags beating the Bills today. I
Mm-hmm.
actually can't wait for that game. That's gonna be
Bro.
very intriguing.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this: whoever wins that game does have a very good chance of, going to the Super Bowl. Like they are two of the tougher teams in the AFC, and for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I can't wait for it. And that's the first game too. I think that's the noon one.
that is.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll be definitely like locked in that one.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of points scored in that game.
Yeah, so getting back to like the running backs, man. Look, Kenny Gainwell and Jalen Warren, right? So at the beginning of the year, it was a lot of talk about Caleb Williams, Jamar. I mean, I'm sorry, not your guy. Like he's still up on my brain, and you know how he threw that strike to DJ Moore. But however, Caleb Johnson is what I wanted to say, bro.
Oh, I forgot about
Us
him.
drafting him, everybody did. See, see what I mean? And like he was terrible, bro. Like yards per carry, he didn't have any wiggle nor burst early in the season. Therefore, they turned to Kenny Gainwell and Jalen Warren, and that combination has been one of the better combinations. Not strictly from a standard base, Jamar, but PPR, like what majority of people do play. Both of those guys were fantastic considering where they were drafted. These are guys who was drafted as RB4s, Jamar. You know what I mean, mind you. But they were, especially for me in one of my leagues, Jalen Warren was a mainstay inside of my flex just because of his usage. And adding Kenny Gainwell when Jalen Warren get injured, I knew not to be able to drop him. But for a couple of guys that you could have picked up, I mean, way back there, bro, like way back there, adding them to a lineup as a flex mainstay, that was two of the better pickups this year.
I mean, and not to like I understand the hashtag Still Nation hashtag here we go approach, but
He said it, I didn't, people.
I mean they finished 19th and 20. Like,
Bro, that's an RB2. That's an RB2 for guys who basically, like, if you
so
watch the game, bro, like you really wouldn't think that those guys are like that. But
at all, and just to say, like, so they finished the hit, like entering the season, like, just with the mindset, you enter the season, they end up finishing guys ahead of Kenny Skywalker, Quinshawn Judkins, David Montgomery, Bucky Irving, Chuba Hubbard, Alvin Kamara. I mean, those are the main notable names that they finished ahead of, and based on the ADP probably entering the year, those guys probably got drafted well ahead of them. So
facts. So for like, I think they would definitely fall under like a good waiver wire pickup, because I'm pretty sure that at least Kenny Gainwell was not drafted in majority of the leagues. Maybe Jalen Warren, like I mentioned, like as like a wide receiver. I mean, I'm sorry, a running back 4, or maybe a low end RB3 or something like that. But to be able to add those guys to a team and just to be like, I think that's one of the best things that you can do as far as fantasy. If you got a guy that you can set it and forget it inside your flex, I think you in pretty good shape.
man, you're right. How many more you got on your running back list?
Oh, I'm done with RBs.
Okay,
That's it.
so I want to throw out one
Yeah.
that I definitely want to give flowers to, because maybe this fan base is overrated, but maybe this player is definitely he played pretty well, and he was actually on our TD parlay a few times. Javonte Williams finished RB11. Nobody saw this coming.
Oh, hold on now. I did though, but I did, and here's the reason why.
All right.
As good as that offensive line is in Dallas, we all know that Dallas has a plug and play system. I think was it Rico Dowdle was the one who ended up getting 1,000 yards up on that team, and ended up getting traded. Ended up leaving in
Yes.
free agency, and making his mark up on the Panthers. Keep pounding, by the way. But yeah, it's yeah, but it's one of those things to where it's like I didn't know, like I knew that he was at least going to be a 1,000-yard rusher, but from a TD perspective, he really did do well, bro.
So Okay, so I'll give you that. But for me, I'll say I didn't see this coming because of the fact that for one, first year here coach and what's his name, Brian Schottenheimer. I think that's his name. Um, Also, the fact they ended up drafting a running back, Blue, and it like entering the year, it seemed like, well, Javante may be the starter for a couple weeks, and then they'll eventually transition to Blue. But I mean, he did play pretty well, but I didn't think he'll finish RB11. I did not see that coming. And it's been one, two, three, 3 games over 20, and then a lot was one, two. It's only was 3 games that he was in single digits, so it's like he was very, very. He should have been in a lot of lineups on a week to week basis for real. So
Nah, for sure. And I think he was that quintessential RB2 with upside, basically. You know what I mean? I don't
yeah,
know exactly where he finished, but that was a guy that, pretty much stayed in lineups from beginning to end,
yeah,
or should have anyway.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, like finished RB11, but I don't know where his original ADP was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was back there.
Yeah. So all right, we can keep moving.
All right, so moving on to wide receivers. A guy I know a little bit. George Pickens, man. George Pickens, GP. Now look, man, nobody should have underestimated this guy's talent because he showed so many flashes of it even without a true quarterback. You know what I mean? In Pittsburgh. So you couple him with CeeDee Lamb, you know what I mean? And it really got cooking once CeeDee Lamb got injured, man. This dude was on fire, bro. This dude was absolutely on fire. Jamar, I think he finished as where did he finish?
A wide
He
receiver.
finished as top five as a top five fantasy wide receiver. So for people that was drafting him as back end wide receiver two, definitely a strong wide receiver three, and getting a wide receiver one in return, talking about a good return up on said investment. Jamar, he was pretty much lights out. And I'm not sure if they can keep him. Like I'm not. But even if they don't, he'll find big money with another team or whatever. But he would be smart to be able to think that, hey, Dak is going to be here for a little bit. He is the highest paid quarterback in the league. So I think they can
I,
actually make some noise together. They
I
should
think
make
I
that.
think they will keep him. I think if anything, they'll franchise tag him, which would be ludicrous. But I think more it's just more so that they don't want him to hit the open market.
Right, facts. It's money issues there. So yeah, man. But yeah, he was good. He was very, very good. So moving on, Chris Olave, bro. Uh Chris Olave was good.
Yeah,
Chris
he
Olave
was.
was very good this year. Like,
Wow.
and that was a guy that I was like, I didn't draft him in any league. I think pretty
Of
much
course not.
every player that we named in so far, I think I drafted them at least in one league. But like the concussions, the injury proneness of that kind of steered me away from grabbing him. And not only that, just the incompetence under center and just the head coach.
Bingo.
Just I didn't know
Bingo.
exactly where it was going to go. But boy, that was a mistake. He at least should have been rostered at least up on one of my teams, bro,
No,
because he was pretty good.
yeah, but the thing is, like, I, I wouldn't go that far, like, saying it was a mistake per se, because it was the second part for me, the incompetence of the quarterback position. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, at the time, Spencer Rattler was your starter. You didn't have any faith in Spencer Rattler. You didn't know what Tyler Shuck was going to be. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
know Tyler Shuck was going to be shucking that ball over the field and making Chris Olave relevant again. Like, dude, like before Shuck got in, like this dude didn't even score 16 points in the game. And then after the fact, I mean, look, the last 3 weeks, week 15, 16, and 17, 20.5, 36.8,
Mm-hmm.
25.9. That's all Shuck. Imagine if Spencer Rattler was in a under center at that point. That
Facts.
wasn't happening at all. So I wouldn't say it was a mistake, but it was definitely, we know Chris Olave has life now with Shuck under center.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, kudos to him. Claps up for Olave and his resurgence. Again, we never doubted his talent, Jamar. Injuries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So moving along to, I think, a lot of people's favorite, Jamar, and I may like to add waiver wire player of the year, Michael Wilson, man,
Woo,
Mike Willie. He was
woo.
great, bro. Even eclipsed 1,000 yards on the season, man. And big shout out to Jacoby Brissett. Big shout out to Jacoby Brissett, man, because again, he made that offense seem competent. They were able to move the ball, and plus he threw the ball a lot, man. Like they didn't truly have like a run game, so that kind of helped out. Marvin Harrison Jr. being banged up, but still, you still got Trey McBride there who demands a lot of targets, and for him to have the season that he did, man, I don't think anybody's seen this one coming. Like if you would have said that Michael Wilson would have had 1,000 yards receiving at the beginning of the season, I'm calling cap, bro. For real, for real.
Big facts. Look, um, before week 11, Michael Wilson didn't even have a double-digit game.
Mm.
This is what you call a true second half hero. Matter of fact, a league winner. That's a true league winner player. I mean, from week 11 on, 33.5, 21.8. The only dud is 6.6. After that, he followed up with a 37.2, 16.4, 13.2, and 19.9.
Jesus, man.
And considering that, I mean, initially, Marvin Harrison Jr. was out, which ended up being Marvin Harrison Jr. injury plus Jacoby Brissett in the lineup was a perfect storm for Michael Wilson. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. comes back and they trying to figure it out, but still Michael Wilson was able to still garner a lot of targets and still be productive. I mean, look, Michael Wilson, I don't know what the future is for that team and that franchise and even his stock per se, but for
Mhm.
now, he definitely deserves the flowers that you're getting. And I will say tread carefully on drafting Michael Wilson until we know what this off season is and who's under center and who's still left on that roster because he looks great now, but circumstances could change pretty quick and also who the head coach is. So it's like all those things matter.
Nah, that's a fact. I'm glad you put emphasis on like just because he was like like I like to call it second half spectacular, man. Like he was just lights out going into the fantasy playoffs. So yeah, I mean, just because that's like that, like a healthy Marvin Harrison Jr., we don't know who's going to be up under center. We don't even know how the offense is going to be going into next year. I would definitely keep an eye on it. One thing is for certain, two things for sure. That man can ball, and he put up on notice that he is a very good wide receiver. So yeah,
Absolutely.
moving along, man. J-Mo, Jamar, J-Mo quietly put together his second 1,000 yard receiving year. The injury to Sam Laporta kind of helped that out a lot, as well as no, they actually I added to Slob, but they didn't really use him until down the stretch. I like him a lot. 6'4", big body receiver, Tesla,
Oh yeah.
but he, they didn't really utilize him to the best of his ability. But for your guy Ben Johnson to be able to leave there and him still be productive, I think he was one of the beneficiaries of working out with a Ben Johnson. But I think that backfield took a hit more than anything, in my
Oh
opinion,
yeah.
without him, because he was able to scheme two running backs the way that he did, and it seems like David Montgomery took a hit from it. I mean, we're seeing it happen right now for Monunga and Swift, but not so much for. I mean, Jameer Gibbs gonna be Gibbs. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking up on behalf of David Montgomery, who has possibly played his last game in a Detroit Lions uniform. So.
Probably. JMO. So Deshaun, before the season started, me and you made a few videos,
Mhm.
predicting guys or whatnot. Um, and we kind of agreed before the we did the video, but JMO is he was pretty much like a wide receiver 3 with RB1. I mean, wide receiver 1 upside. That's how we put it, like a super flex, like an ultra like type deal. I mean, he finished wide receiver 13, pretty close, to that
Pretty
wide.
close, bro.
And he did it in fashion to where it wasn't all the way consistent every time, especially in the beginning. But nevertheless, that's one of those, second half strong type guys, because he had a stretch of, let's say, let's go week 9. Week 9, 16.6, 23.9, 19.7. Now, he had a goose egg in one of those weeks. I think that kind of,
Oh yeah, I definitely remember that.
yeah, that one sucked, but he followed it up with a 26.9, 17.3, and a 26.4 from, so pretty much week 9 to week 14 outside the goose egg. I mean, that's where he did the bulk of his work, because them other weeks, it wasn't really there. But it's like when he gets the ball, when he makes an impact, he makes it count.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And you mentioned it, without Ben Johnson, that offense didn't quite look the same, and I guess the productivity or lack thereof got the offensive coordinator fired, so he's no longer there.
Yeah. Didn't they hire a new one though already?
No, not that I'm aware of. I know they were supposed to interview Mike McDaniels for the job, but I also heard Mike McDaniels was to maybe possibly interview for the Tennessee Titans job, head coaching job. So I don't know fully on that, but I just know it's definitely going to be changes uh, this upcoming season for sure. Anybody else on your wide receiver list?
Yep, I got one more, bro, and that's Wan'Dale Robinson.
Woo!
So I talked about Jackson Dart a little bit earlier in the show, and how he dealt with not only a injury to his wide receiver 1, but to the rookie. Pretty much, he was a sensation early on, man. Like Cam Scatterbo, he was pretty damn good, bro. Before he ended up suffering the season ending injury, and we hate to see it, especially for like the young guys that was like they're making a name for himself. They gave excitement to the city of New York again. So I mean that's always awful. But when a couple of men go down, it got to be next man up mentality. And Wan'Dale Robinson finally capitalized off of that, getting his 1,000-yard season I think he finished as a wide receiver too, if I'm not mistaken. I know he finished at the top.
It was total was wide receiver 11. So
really, damn. Yeah. Okay, I didn't think it was that good. I thought it was like 15 or something like that last time I checked, but that may be somebody else. But yeah, man, wide receiver 11, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, man. So again, like that's wide receiver 2. It's crazy.
Fringe wide receiver 1. I mean,
Fringe wide receiver 1, depending upon the league.
Yeah. Wide receiver. Yeah. So yeah, Wan'Dale did his thing, and then if I'm not mistaken, like what's crazy about these injuries for the Giants, I want to say Dart and Neighbors had a total of maybe 3 snaps together. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. And we all know how good he is, bro.
Man,
that dude is very good.
Man. And so lastly, before we switch to tight ends, once again, I mentioned we made these videos before the season start. And one that I'm gonna give you flowers for, because he definitely deserved flowers. Maybe it wasn't, all the way an ADP sensation, but I mean, the man finished 2 on the year, and that's Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Man,
you called it out. You said he was gonna finish, I think you said top 10, but that was during a time of uncertainty. Like there was some people that was like hesitant to even like try to draft him because, Sam Darnold, no more Geno Smith, DK's gone. Can he really be a true number 1? But you stood by it, and he was less than 4 points away from being the wide receiver 1 on the year.
So. Yeah, man, finishing beside the likes of, I think, Puka Nacua finished wide receiver 1 up on the year. So as far as offensive awards are concerned, like he can very well maybe offensive player of the year. As far as I'm concerned, it's a couple of guys you can throw out there: Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson being like another probably like the other top two, but Puka Nakua as well. But man, listen, man, JSN just been cooking, bro. And I did say it well before the season started. It's just I've seen everything that this man can do, and the thing that separates him then from everybody else is his route running ability and his sure-handedness. When he does get separation, like he just the way that he just catches the football, bro. Like it's just the hands are just very, very strong. Very, very strong hands, man. And just his route running ability. I in my opinion, I think we got some guys that's leaving out. I've always mentioned like Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams, my God, like just footwork impeccable. But JSN, like he not too far behind. Not the quickest guy, Jamar, and we know not the biggest guy as well.
Right.
But his ability to gain separation is what puts him head over heels above a lot of these other fantasy wide receivers, man.
If, no, and I say this like I tread carefully when saying this, but based on what you just said and his ability to separate and get open, it might be a little bit comparable to your former Steeler, number 84.
Listen,
I tread carefully, but it's just like not the
please
biggest, not
do.
the fastest, but it's just like
No, the makeup, I get
yeah,
that. I definitely get that. But in my opinion, I watched a lot of football, man, and from my eyes, Antonio Brown is the best wide receiver I've ever watched play football, pound for pound. Just separation, not the like I mentioned, and you mentioned as well, not the biggest guy, definitely not the fastest or whatever, but the best route runner I have ever seen in the National Football League.
it was so fluid.
Yeah, yeah, that's why they call him Tony Toe Tap, man. Like his footwork is impeccable. I mean, impeccable, like poetry in motion, basically.
Yeah.
For the young kids out there listening, you want to learn how to run some routes, go watch some tape up on Antonio Brown.
Yep, and then go watch some Shakespeare because it's very comparable how to artist.
Nah, that's facts, bro. But it's JSN was fantastic. I'm glad I claps for that one, Jamar. Like we need to definitely play that for our good guy JSN. Championship as well. So kudos if you were able to, be able to land him. So that's it for me as far as wide receivers are concerned. Let's move into tight ends, man. In the name.
Hey, I know one of these names was on your bus.
They was, man. And not only on my bus, he was on my do not draft ever again list. Can you blame me though? You know what I mean? But finishing as tight end 2 on the year, bro, like right behind the magnificent Trey McBride. Kyle Pitts, Jamar, he was good. He honestly propelled you in our dynasty league. Like I looked over and like I'm saying to myself, I know Jamar ain't start this dude. That big game when he went off, I think it was like what 43 points or something
45,
like that.
45.
Okay, yeah. And I looked over, I'm like, lucky dog. You know what I mean? He actually had him inside of his lineup, propelled you to beating you were basically the underdog in that.
I was a big underdog in that match.
Huge underdog. And you basically were able to pull out the victory and basically knock off one of the better teams in the league, bro. Yeah. Ryan, shout out to Ryan.
Team, dude, I mean, when you have the likes of Gibbs and Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons and whatever else he had on that man, yeah, that was Kyle Pitts, man. Like I believed in you. I was told to trade this man a long time ago. I was told not to draft this man. I was told a lot of different things. I held on for, I held on probably longer than most. Matter of fact, I was probably your last lifeline, Mr. Pitts, but you came through.
He was good, especially once Drake London ended up getting injured and Kirk Cousins was under center. Only thing he did was feed that man. You know what I mean? Pause. And it was basically it was fantastic, man, to be able to see that because a player of that caliber, we know what he can do, and to be able for him to be able to show that, I had to start the list off for him. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's only right, bro.
Dude, like what was his ADP? It was in double digits, I would imagine.
Bro. Matter of fact, I'm actually about to look up the numbers for his ADP.
Because look, Cal Pitts wasn't the greatest all year by any means, but weeks 13 through 16, which was some of the most important stretch of football and fantasy is concerned,
130s, so looking like a mid to late round pick, and he was ranked as the 17th best tight end coming into this year.
and he finished
17.
So when that's the and if you kept them on your team, not only you drafted them, you kept them or you picked them up and wait, whatever the case may be. Week 12, 15.2. I'm sorry, week 13, 15.2, week 14, 15, week 15. That was the juggernaut of a game, 45.6. Week 16, 18.7. Those, like, in that stretch, that man just earned himself a payday.
Ain't it though? Ain't it though? So I think he'll definitely be there, and for him to be able to put, like you mentioned, you said it beautifully. Just those games are the reason why he will, get a bigger contract, and it's just he been able to show what he can do. Again, bro, like it's one of those offenses. It's like when it's healthy and it's competent, you got Bajan, you got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts. You know what I mean? Like it's on paper, it looks like one of the ones that can actually do something.
They need Kevin Stefanski. Go get an offensive mind head coach, and possibly a quarterback. Yep. Possibly, because like you got it's too much talent, elite talent on that offense for them to finish 8-9 for a second straight year in a row. Too much. Like Kyle Pitts is an elite athlete. There's a reason why we were jokingly saying Hall of Fame Kyle Pitts when he got drafted. There's a reason for it. We don't say that for everybody coming out. So, all right, who else we got here? Because there's a couple names on this top 10 that I didn't even know that was in this top 10.
Yeah, I'm a tip my hat to a couple of rookies right now. Jamar. One being Harold Fannin Jr.
Oh my gosh.
And the reason why I say him is because they already had David Njoku there, and like a lot of people were questioning that pick or whatever. And again, like other people that we mentioned, I think David Njoku played his last game inside a Cleveland jersey as well, bro, because honestly, I was just surprised that they didn't move him before the draft. I mean,
the trade deadline.
Trade deadline. Yeah. So it's like Harold Fannin Jr. has been very, very good this year, Jamar.
He has.
Extremely good. And just think about this. The poor quarterback play basically from Gabriel to I'm not gonna say that Shador was poor, but I mean he didn't do that much from a fantasy perspective. You know what I mean? Okay. He didn't do that much better than Dylan Gabriel, but actually from real life perspective, he definitely did.
Oh yeah.
But as far as moving the needle from the fantasy perspective, it was basically poor QB play under center. There's no other true wide receiver one. I don't know what the heck is up with Jerry Jeudy and why he was yelling at Shador on the sideline. Stop it. You ain't that good enough to be able to telling him anything. So.
Man, you are just another guy. That's what Steve Smith said, and everything Steve Smith said was a huge fact.
Yeah, man. So just he ain't him. So he ain't got no business, being able to do that. But that's neither here nor there. Pleasant surprise for the Cleveland Browns, something that they can build upon going forward. Harold Fannin Jr. Awesome, freaking awesome, bro.
And I take it the next tight end that's a rookie is colors are blue and white.
Yep. Shout out to your boy Walter. You know what I mean? My cousin Vic, man, a lot of coaches, Chris Ford, Jeremy Thomas, like all of those guys, man. Tyler Warren is good, Jamar. Tyler Warren is good.
He is.
You know what I mean? And this is kind of crazy because this will kind of lead into like the next guy who I'll be talking about. But Ty Warren was pretty much the tight end one coming out of college last year. You know what I mean? I think that was like the quote unquote can't miss prospect, but they kind of more so let's use that term loosely because you can miss. Obviously, we've seen it in years prior.
Hall of Fame
But
prospects for a long time.
but yeah, so he was good, bro. Especially with Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones on the center.
Yeah.
But then like the injury kind of more so, he was good, but not as good going down the stretch. But still, yet and still, he still as a rookie still finished as a top 10 tight end in a position that was basically pretty much the end.
Yep. Finished tight end 7. Like you said, did the bulk of his work with Indiana Jones
Mm-hmm.
because, at a certain point towards the end of the year, his production started to taper off. Not his fault per se, because we saw it. He passed the eye test in the beginning. And matter of fact, it was to the point to where there was a couple people that was questioning, did the Bears make the wrong pick? They should have picked Tyler. That's what it felt like
Mm-hmm.
for the first half of the year.
Yep.
And it's like, you know what, I had to, sit there, be quiet, knowing that, so one person got more, production or more looks than the other initially, but that's why you play a whole season, right?
Facts. And that just leads me right into my last and final guy right here, man. Yo, boy, Colston Loveland. Look, Colston Loveland passes the eye test, Jamar, right? It's sometimes things can't be shown in stats. And if you guys watched the game last night, you'll see exactly
Whew.
why, especially going into next year, he needs to be heavily rostered. Again, I think he finished as tight end
Tight
again.
end 14.
14. Okay. So basically a tight end too, but his production, started to come on late. Again, you guys already had a more so established tight end there in Cole Kmet that made things a little bit more difficult than him, as in opposed to Tyler Warren. But make no mistake about it, that man can ball, and he showed his ass yesterday. Pause. You know what I mean? Like he had a fantastic game, and that rapport with Caleb Williams, fourth quarter Caleb, is getting pretty damn strong, Jamar. So shout out to your boy. I don't think that they made the wrong decision at all. It was just to be able to work him in, especially with Komet being there. So
Yeah,
and not only that, like y'all got Luther Burden the third, Roma Dunze,
that was
you know what I mean,
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. You know what I'm saying? So it was just
That
a
was my
little bit of
point.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be my point. It was like we had a lot of mouths to feed. Had to figure it all out. I would say, Colston Lovin, his coming out party was the game against the Cincinnati Bengals, where he had 29.8 fantasy points, including the game-winning touchdown where he
Yeah.
broke a tackle and ran for like 40-some yards or whatever the case may be. Um, but yeah, I would say during the last month with Roma Dunze being out, that's when the report really started to develop.
Yep.
And that's when we had 2 of those games against the Green Bay Packers. Roma Dunze didn't play in any of those games during the regular season, so Loveland became a big time go-to person. Him and Luther Burden at the time. So nevertheless, yeah, I would say Loveland is on the love list entering 26 as far as being drafted.
I mean, 100%.
Not even being biased.
I could no. I'm with you there. I'm damn sure I ain't no Bears fan, but I know a good player, fantasy player for sure when I see it. So yeah, man. So that'll cap the list off, man. So claps to our ADP heroes, Jamar. Like all these guys were fantastic. All the names that we mentioned. If you only clap it up, man, because they were exceptional in 2025.
All right, so those are good guys.
Bad guys now, man.
Uh-oh.
Hey, my buzz, man. So every year, at the end of every year, we do this segment, right? So it's just my bust. That's basically what it is. So, bust is just remove the T from bust, and you got my bus, and I'll have a bus driver and players driving on it. And I definitely got a bus driver, but I'm saving him for a little bit later. So for quarterbacks, I just take it for players exactly who they are. Lamar Jackson, Jamar. I hate to do it. I hate to do it. I hate to do it, man. You know what? I love to do it. Hashtag Steeler Nation. Hashtag here we go, baby. Miss field goal. Okay, I'm not even
turned into a villain real quick.
I ain't even gonna get into that. You know what I mean? But nah, Lamar Jackson is a top 5 fantasy quarterback, Jamar. No matter how you slice it, year in and year out. I know the injury happened to have that a lot, but a lot of people drafted him as QB1, Jamar, and like a lot of these leagues, and you didn't get that return on that investment. You could have utilized that up on somebody else. And I know injuries are a part of the game, but he just, even when he was, healthy, the offense just didn't look as good this year, Jamar.
You are absolutely correct. Because in the Discord league, I am the winner of that league. I did draft Lamar Jackson as my QB1, and it started off pretty good, and then the injury occurred, and I'm so glad I happened to have Dak Prescott on my bench, and he pretty much catapulted me the rest of the way because Lamar did not look like Lamar anymore when he came back from injury.
Mm.
I mean, things happen, but hey, if I invested my early round pick on a quarterback, I need my return on investment.
Facts.
So
No, that's big facts, man. So, yeah, Lamar Jackson, you're gonna have a seat, big dog. Because you probably will bounce back from this. You're gonna be in the back of the bus, man, Rosa Parks style, dog. So I'm pretty sure you'll hop off at the very, very first stop. Man, this next name, bro. Bro, you're gonna have to ride in the very, very front of the bus. I'm gonna call him Nine, man. People call him Nine. I mean, that's what they call him. That's his alter ego. You know what I mean? But it seems like the only thing that is, that nine means is that's how many fantasy points he averaged up on a weekly basis. It seems like, man.
Ooh.
Like he was very, very bad.
So
JJ McCarthy, Jamar. JJ McCarthy. So look, man, make no mistake about it. Justin Jefferson will be mentioned up on this bus, so he won't be alone. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
my
he'll
God.
be a counterpart
It
on
wasn't
that bus.
JJ's fault.
It was not Jetta's fault, but you have to put him up there. A lot of people, myself included, drafted him as their wide receiver 1 overall. I think I drafted Jetta's with like my 5th or 6th pick, which you can't blame me for. As good as his talent was, the running backs were off the board at that time. No Bajan, Jameer Gibbs was gone. Who was the other running back? I think even CMC was gone. So I had no choice.
What
It
about
was
Jonathan Taylor?
Yep. So I think I picked 5th or 6th. Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase was the only wide receiver that was taken. I mean, I could have even went Amon, bro. Any other pick, basically, bro. But all the good running backs were gone. Definitely by that time when I ended up picking them. But it's all right, man. But yeah, man, 9 is trash, bro. 9 is trash. He didn't look good at all. When you got Carson Wentz basically outplaying you, and that's pretty much not saying much because Carson Wentz is a backup at this point. They got a lot of things to sort out up in the offseason, Jamar, with JJ McCarthy. Typically, Michigan quarterbacks don't really fare that well in the NFL, so I never thought that he was going to be anything spectacular. But the way that offense was, you got Jettis, you got Jordan Addison as a capable, you got TJ Hawkinson. I mean, you add those things up, Jamar, and that just pretty much makes a pretty good plethora of pass catchers to be able to, feed. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't even do that. I mean, he made some scrambles here and there, and he, showed some flashes. But long term, I just don't think that he's the answer. And for that, man, you riding in the very front of the bus, my guy. Very, very front of the bus. I think he's gonna be on here for a little bit of minute. Okay, man. So I mean, driving right next to the bus driver, Jamar, right next to the bus driver is going to be this guy. Bus driver, I'm about to get into that. I'm gonna get into that next. Okay, so and this is my last one for quarterbacks. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa.
To
Man,
turn the ball over?
basically, man, when you are replaced, you know what I mean, in season by I think Quinn Ewers that was drafted in the 5th round or whatever, and they wanted to turn maybe 6th. Like, I don't know when he was drafted. I know it just wasn't
He
first,
was a day 3
second,
pick.
fourth. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that just goes to show what to it. If you watch any Miami games, Jamar, it's kind of heartbreaking to see. He ain't got a strong arm. He make terrible decisions out there. He just doesn't look that good. And this is a quarterback that when he was in college, bro, like they gave him the keys up over Jalen Hurts, bro. And we seen Jalen Hurts do nothing besides win a Super Bowl and pretty much play his ass off since he's been in the league. So that was one of like the head scratchers. For me, they never gave my boy the keys back. So that always sucked. But it seemed like Jalen Hurts got the last laugh. But Tua, man, you on that bus, big dog.
I don't have any objections here, so
All right, so I'm gonna get to the bus driver. Who's driving the bus, man? Who is driving the bus? Brian Thomas Jr. Jamar is the bus driver for 2025. So, as a rookie, dang it, I lost it because I mean I need to spend a little bit of time on this one, man, because I don't know his fall from grace needs to be studied. Last year was a rookie, right? So I think he finishes. Matter of fact, let me double check it.
But some of the I feel like some of the, I would say the ADP on that one, some of it is our fault.
No, it is. But be that as it may, I still got to put him on there, Jamar. And I know
he deserves to be.
Yeah, I know that he was battling injury or whatever, but to finish the season last year, Jamar, as a rookie, wide receiver 4 last year, over names like Drake London, Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb, JSN, Garrett Williams, Ladd McConkey, Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, T. Higgins. He finished high over all those guys. I mean, he's right next to Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's it. And that's elite. We're talking about elite. He finished wide receiver 4 last year, Jamar. Wide receiver 4.
Look, I'm not going to say that he ain't supposed to be driving this bus. I'm not going to rebuttal anything that's being said, but I just want to put in perspective, majority of BTJ's productivity came when Trevor Lawrence was hurt and Mac Jones was the quarterback, and he went completely off the rails and was a league winner last year. And we thought that this is what it's going to be, and it wasn't. That's the only thing I would say. Everything else, he definitely earned on himself. The drop passes in the beginning of the year because he was definitely getting targeted. He just couldn't catch a pass for whatever reason, and the injury, that's all him. And I did spend an early round draft pick on him in a couple leagues, and that was my downfall, my big downfall. And I made the playoffs in 6. I was in 9 leagues. At least 2 of the leagues, BTJ was on my roster as a first or second round pick. So yeah, that was he deserves to be driving this bus. And I just wanted to throw that other part in the context. That's all.
Yeah. Oh no. That's all fine and dandy. But when you go from wide receiver 4 last year to wide receiver 42 this year, you are driving that bus, man. Sorry. You got to see the air. You definitely got to see it. So yeah, man, and you got people finishing, bro. Trey Tucker, Romeo Dobbs, Khalil Shakir, Rashid Shaheed, and Rasheed Rice. He did. Rasheed Rice, how many games did he miss at the beginning of the season?
6.
And what? He missed 3 towards the end of the year. I think he missed 9 games total. Still finished higher than he did. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous, bro. So Brian Thomas Jr. is the bus driver. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, he deserves a spot. I think he's fantastic. I think he can be very, very good. I think him and what's the dual threat wide receiver there name? The dude who played both
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter, and they got Jacoby Myers. Brenton Strange been pretty good. Travis Etienne, that's a capable offense for him to be able to not be able to see double coverage anymore. You know what I mean? So with that being said, bus driver. He got the pin on. He got the little hat on as well. And he's yelling up in the back, telling people to stay behind the yellow line. So pretty much his job right now.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, moving on to other wide receivers. I'm going to just go ahead and couple these guys up, these next 2 guys. Justin Jefferson and Ladd McConkey. And the reason why I am coupling these guys up is because last year, Justin Jefferson finished wide receiver 2, right? Wide receiver 2. Ladd McConkey finished wide receiver 12. So, again, Jamar, I already mentioned 9. You know what I mean? And that offense just being atrocious, right? Like it just didn't look good this whole season. Thank God that Justin Jefferson was still able to eclipse and continue his streak of 1,000 yards receiving. He had to wait until like the last game,
Very last game.
to the very last game, and like that man, he still got it. So big shout outs to him for still being able to do that. One of the only few receivers that has done that in every year that he's been inside the league. So he was able to keep that streak going. But outside of that, I think he only had 2 touchdowns receiving on the year. Jamar, I think under 100 catches. It's just nothing really looked right. We saw a lot of frustration from him. Needless to say, if they don't make a splash play at QB next year, I think it's going to be pretty much the same, man. So it's to be able to have that talent. It's like having the Bugatti inside the projects, bro. You know what I mean? It's pretty much worthless.
Sounds
I
like
feel for
something.
him, bro. I definitely do feel for Jettis because I still do think that he is potentially and arguably the top wide receiver inside the league. He just wasn't able to showcase that ability last year.
Whew. I ain't gonna argue that one. The lad McConkey, boy.
Yep.
Dude, when they signed Keenan Allen back to that team, that because I feel like he was about to take off until that point. Then it became too many mouths to feed, and Quentin Johnston wanted to
make a surprise guest appearance. You know what I mean? It's like when you watching Family Matters and it's this celebrity that shows up and then everybody starts clapping mid scene or whatever, and then it's just like, oh, now you want to make an appearance. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to Gadsden. Like he actually made his presence felt in a couple of those games, being able to take a little bit of those looks away from Lad McConkey. But yeah, man, it's I had to throw Lad on there. He had such a good rookie season, right along with Brian Thomas Jr. Those are 2 guys that kind of basically fell off the wagon. I just felt like Lads is a byproduct of maybe too many mouths to feed, Jamar. You know what I mean? Because the quarterback is competent there. It ain't like Justin Herbert is 9. You know what I mean? That's 2 completely different quarterbacks. So I'm just gonna say it's one ball and too many mouths to go around. You know what I'm saying?
So is he in the back of the bus at least? Like
yeah. I think he's gonna hop off. You know what I mean? Justin Jefferson, like the little latch right there. Justin Jefferson is like basically hanging off, that latch because we know he's gonna get right off at the next stop. Like he'll be off this here pretty soon. But I think in the seat right in front of him, Bob McConkey's back there. You just got to be able to get back to the things that actually made him great. That's all.
Man, fair enough.
I got one more here for my wide receiver list, man, and this one kind of sucks because I actually traded for this guy inside the Dynasty League, and Michael Wilson was one of the reasons why, this guy just look. Marvin Harrison Jr., bro. Marvin Harrison Jr. I hate to see it. I'm sorry. Got to do it, Jamar. I get it. Injuries.
No, I mean,
it's all about injuries. Man. It's all about
injuries was the second half. The first half was Kyler Murray. We know that because as soon as Jacoby Brissett became the quarterback, he was getting the ball.
He was, bro.
He was.
Like right after the trade, I think I started him that very next game and he scored a TD. Then he went to have 80 yards.
Made him fall.
Another TD within like the next week after that one. So it's like, no, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It was just he was a product of what was actually going on at that time, and also him just being injured. That heel injury kept him out a bunch of games throughout the season, and they had him up on like snap counts down the stretch. So he was unusable in the beginning, as we know, with Kyler Murray, and toward the end of the season or whatever, he was unusable as well due to injury. But honestly, the big 6'3", son of Hall of Fame wide receiver has to be able to take a spot on this bus. He in the middle of the bus, but again, like it's about time for you to be able to show what you can do. You know what I mean? Like the drops was a concern, certain thing, going on early this year. Jamar, it seemed like he was in his head. You know what I mean? Like a lot. I don't think that he lacks any talent. I just think that he kind of needs to more so get himself, out of whatever funk he did. And it seems like he started to pick that up, but as soon as that happened, then so did the injury.
I guess that would happen to you when you like, the protege of a Hall of Fame wide receiver is supposed to be this guy, and yet your quarterback's more focused on the joystick instead of actual football. And
Yeah, man. I mean, Call of Duty, season 1 Reloaded just dropped this week. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure Kyler Murray is all smiles right
man, I get it. I get it. Any tight ends on your list?
now. Yeah, man. One. Just one. And I hate to do it. I really do. I really, really hate to do this because he is a top 5, probably top 2, top 3 tight end inside the league. Brock Bowers, man. Brock Bowers. You got to, man. Got to. Check it out.
Wait a minute. I mean, he finished, I think, tight end 8 on the year.
Yeah, but that's
he was going 80. I know he's going ADP 1, pretty much. I get that. I mean, and then the injury, I understand injuries happen, but Geno Smith was such booty cheeks this year. That didn't help at all either.
Yeah, so tight ends are very, very thin. We know that, right?
Yes.
And he was picked as tight end 1 overall. He was picked as some people's number 1 pass catcher as well. You know what I mean? Like for people who went running back heavy and kind of missed out up on wide receivers, they were actually picking him as their top pass catcher on that team, and then coupling him with like a wide receiver too, like a Terry McLaurin, or I'm just throwing out some people who they picked for wide receiver crews this year, or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? But he finished as wide receiver 11. You know what I mean? And again, no, it's not that bad, but for injury purposes, you know what I'm saying, and for him to not live, I think he finished tight end 1 last year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. Yep, right over Trey McBride, to the tune of 262 fantasy points at 15.5 a game last year, Jamar. And those numbers obviously dwindled. Injury had a lot to do with it, as well as Geno being under center. But for where he was picked, you know what I mean? It's just it kind of did suck.
Yeah, I mean, part of that is our fault.
Yep.
Not, realizing some of the things that has changed in the off season from last year to this year, but nevertheless, all right. So I would say he should be middle towards the back of the bus, right?
Oh yeah. He's back there with Justin Jefferson for sure, because he's gonna hop right off Paul's whenever he gets chance.
Yeah, because I'm hoping that ADP slips a little bit this upcoming year, so I can.
It will for sure
get some value on him, because it's about to happen. All right, is that the bus?
Yep, man, that's the bus. BTJ, we just see him driving by right now, so he's off, man.
Off into the sunset.
Yep.
Oh man, and then you got one other segment, right?
Yep, I got one other segment, and this is just pretty much showing love to the rookies, dog. Like the guys who made a huge impact their rookie year. And we like to go ahead and start that off with Tataroa McMillan. I practice that as well, man. Some people just call him Tet, and apparently some people don't like the name. I'm not sure if I actually heard him say that, but I think his mom said that.
Correct.
Or whatever. But yeah, man, so I'm going to just call him Tet, so I don't have to keep saying Tataroa. He was good, bro. He was good, Jamar, in his rookie year, to where I was kind of questioning whether Bryce Young was going to be able to find him. Me and my brother Piggy, shout out to Piggy, made a bet that this dude was going to eclipse 1,000 yards. I said yay. He said nay. So obviously I won that bet. And he played well yesterday. Jamar, he played well. Like, he had a couple of dudes up on skates yesterday, and he reminds me a lot of, again, I keep saying this, he reminds me a lot of Mike Evans.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Just the style and wit stay play. red zone target, bigger body, not very fast at all, but still shifty enough, and high point wide receivers. You know what I'm saying?
and can get open.
Yep.
Like I think that's probably the most underrated ability of him. With him being that tall and big, I'm still when he catching the ball, I'm like this dude's wide open. It ain't like a lot of contested catches. He's
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, because he's actually a very, very undervalued route runner as well, man. Like that's what people don't give him enough credit for. He ain't just a street guy or just throw it up high guy. Nah, I mean, if you look in the frame, the guy's behind him. You know what I mean? He can actually get separation. So I have to show some love to McMillan, who is my he has my vote for offensive rookie of the year. And this next guy was a guy who, Jamar, we had on our parlay, man, early in the season, every week. Go figure. And he was on the one that you actually hit, man. I'm not sure about that, but Emeka Ibuka, man. Emeka Ibuka was very, very good at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
He almost eclipsed 1,000 yards, 960 something yards receiving, if I'm not mistaken. So he was pretty damn close to being able to, get that 1,000-yard season in his very, very first season. I know that means like a lot to players. I'm not sure how you feel about that, considering that it's a 17-game season, but that's neither here nor there. That still is a tremendous accolade to be able to say that you can do. He was very, very close. From that, the Bucks suffered their woes, and he was banged up at a portion of the season. And I feel like if he was still 100% healthy throughout the whole season, he would have probably smashed this.
Oh yes.
I mean, so.
Yes. Yeah. Emeka definitely did his thing. I mean, he came out the gate guns blazing.
Yep.
I think he had 2 touchdowns in the first game, including the game winner, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that. I think he scored in the first 5 weeks. I think he scored a touchdown every game.
He did.
If I'm not mistaken. So, which is, that's something that we haven't seen, you know what I mean, in a little bit. And it's like we knew that this dude was going to be a star. I think we mentioned a bunch of other Ohio State wide receivers like earlier. Like we mentioned JSN, Marvin Harrison Jr., you know what I mean? So it's just he's a product of that. And they got another one coming out. You know what I mean? So another couple of them that should be pretty good.
Tate, and then the next protege that's going to have the hype of Marvin Harrison Jr. and
Jeremiah Smith. Yeah. So I mean, like they just pumping them out. You know what I mean? OSU is basically wide receiver U at this point, man. So shout out to another fantastic, outstanding OSU alum and Emeka Ibuka. So I want to get into a running back, Jamar, that we was hoping that they were being able to get this dude the keys to the car, you know what I mean, a little bit, sooner, but it is what it is, and they just kept giving it to a guy that likes to turn the ball over at a very, very high clip every other game. And if there was a betting app that I could bet that this dude's gonna fumble, I would probably do that. But I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to talk about Ramondre Cough It Up Stevenson. I would rather talk about TreVeyon Henderson because TreVeyon Henderson was good, Jamar. And again, one of the reasons in which you were able to knock off a dynasty giant and Ryan was TreVeyon Henderson. He had that game where he went straight bananas, bro. He went ape shit, basically. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy how good of a game he had. And in this league, if for the people that don't know, we get bonus points for longer receiving touchdowns, passing touchdowns, and rushing touchdowns. And he had a couple of big ones in that one, man. You know what I mean? Pause. You know what I'm saying? So it's he was fantastic. And I think going forward, if this dude don't get like the lion's share, I get it. Ramondre still was relevant. And I know that they still want like to use a split backfield. I know that spells the other running back. But make no mistake about it, this running back is talented, Jamal.
Oh yeah, I definitely know. Entering the rookie draft last year, there was a couple of rookies I wanted ahead of him, but I was like, you know what, let's give him an opportunity. And I was immediately approached with a trade request, and I was like, no, let's see how this plays out. But nevertheless, when it was his turn and he had the opportunity, what's the old formula? Talent plus opportunity. Like
Mm.
my gosh, it showed up and showed out. He definitely made a name for himself for sure. So yeah, by all means, he deserves all the flowers this year.
No, for sure. He's been spectacular. You know what I mean? Another guy I like to mention, unfortunately, this season at the end due to injury, Quinshon Judkins.
Oh,
But for being in whenever he did kind of almost look like the second coming of Nick Chubb, bro. Like the way that he ran hard,
dude,
strong. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, he had the dot. We always say the eye test, Jamar. We always
instant.
say that. We always say the eye test. He just looks like an NFL running back. Unfortunately, he came down with an injury, and that always does suck, man. Like it does
Man,
suck. He was
I
good
he
when he was.
was man. His first game because he didn't play the week one because I think it was contract issues or something, whatever the
Yep.
case may be. When he played against Green Bay, and when Green Bay was known to have that stout run defense, the eye test real quick let me know this guy's a baller. He
Yep.
went over 100 yards in that game, and the Browns ended up winning that game. Thank you, Cleveland. He was that dude.
No, no, no. He really was. And I think that they definitely got, like we already mentioned, Harold Fannin Jr. So those are the three tight ends that I want to bring up next. So that was a perfect segue since they are on the same team. Fannin Jr., we mentioned your guy, Colson Lovin, and
Yep.
Ty Warren all make the all fantasy rookie team. All of those dudes are good. All of those dudes are going to be focal points going forward. And man, like that is a position that needs to be backfilled, man, because we got Travis Kelce on his way out. We got Dallas Goddard on his way out. Hunter Henry is on his way out. It's so many players in such a thin position, Jamar. And it seems like it's the emergence of those three, man. You know what I'm saying? So you couple those three with, a Brock Bowers, a Trey McBride, you know what I mean?
And
Guys like that.
maybe finally a Cal Pitts.
Finally, man, finally a Kyle Pitts. It looks like we got the tight ends of the future. You know what I mean? Kittle is honestly just about on his way out as well, man. As fantastic as he has been when he's healthy. So tight end, I think is safe to say we're looking at the ones of the future. What do you think, John?
I think so. I mean, it's rare to get one. I ain't gonna say rare, but it's maybe uncommon to get one that's pretty good in each draft class. I mean, you got three,
Mm-hmm.
three. Um, as long as they get the opportunity and the competent quarterback, then they gonna blossom. Um, and like you said, a couple that with Brock Bowers from last, entering the league from last year, and Trey McBride, who becomes a target hog for whatever reason, but he's good. I mean, if we can get a good at least 7 to 8 solid ones over the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, then it's like, okay, we got something to hold on to here.
Yep. All right. So look, so I'm gonna give a quick shout out to two players. Um Unfortunate what happened to Cam Scatterbo. I had to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If his season was, you know, if the injury didn't happen, I think that we would be, seeing that he could potentially be in the conversation for offensive rookie of the year, the way that things were going with him or whatever. And so, unfortunate what happened to Cam Scatterbo. Hopefully he comes back and plays like the way that he did. You want to talk about I did not see that one coming, Jamar. Sorry. Like I didn't. Like I didn't know what to think was gonna happen in that backfield, but he was very, very good when he was out there, man. He was
I
very,
mean,
very good.
I will say, like we knew that this was the deepest running back draft class probably you have ever
In a very
seen.
long time. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I mean, I remember watching him in college for a couple of games, and he looked the part. It was just, I was questioning why he dropped so low in the draft, maybe because it was that much deep of talent at the point. I don't know, but nevertheless, and when he was out there, he let it be known,
Hmm.
like he invited contact. So I can't wait to see him back next year.
All right, so I'm gonna close this portion of the list with Luther Burton III, Jamar. 44 receptions, 617 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And again, the only reason he's not pretty much higher on this list is so many mouths to feed in Chicago, bro. We like he already mentioned like another rookie pass catcher that's on this same list with him, and Colston Loveland is another guy that he has to fight for targets with. But as Caleb's volume increases, he get closer and closer to having that 4,500 yard season, which I think he's on the brink of. I think that'll space things out. I'm not sure about what's going to happen with DJ Moore. You know what I mean? But like that's a guy who I can see going to another team. It seems like Adunze is going to be the guy, and it seems like if Luther Burton III can, step up and become that number 2 wide receiver, I think we should be seeing good things for him in the future. Jamal, what do you think?
Uh, Absolutely. Like early on, you saw it. Like he passed the eye test early on.
Mhm.
He just never had the real opportunity until late in the season. But it's like he has that it factor. It's like it's kind of like at times watching uh from a basketball reference, like watching Jamal Crawford or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he's a baller. You just know he is, and it, it kind of reminded me of that because it's just like he was doing things with the ball that it's like, huh, that made a lot of sense. Huh, only like that he can make that happen. Like it's not too many guys. It's like that can really do some of the things that he was able to do. That's all I'm gonna say based on the eyes. But yeah, it just all depends on what this off season looks like. I guarantee there's gonna be quite a few players that's not gonna be on this team next year,
Mhm.
based on what happened this year. But nevertheless, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Just know that's in my stash heading into next year. Just he's on my radar.
Yep. Um, so another one is RJ Harvey or whatever. He was very, very good. He made a big splash late in the season, Jamar.
Yes. Once Dobbins went out, he started
Yep.
to pick it up.
Facts. And being a running back in that system, I think we only saw a small sample size of what he can be. Sean Payton has compared that man to like the likes of Alvin Kamara. They like to get him utilized more and more in like the passing game, and I think he was very, very good in his first year.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got 2 more names here, Jamar. Before we wrap this one up, I'm gonna just couple these, get 2 guys up together because, for one, Ashton Genty was picked very, very high, right? Like everybody knew that he was going to be what he was, but um, he struggled early on, Jamar. He's kind of more so struggled to be able to find his footing. I think he is still in like the running to become like rookie of the year. I think he is like the number 3 favorite right now, with um, Tet being number 1. But Gene T, that offensive line got to be better.
Yeah.
That team as a whole has to be better. But he
Quarterback play.
definitely, quarterback play has to be better. For them not to be able to put so many men in the box, you know what I mean? But yeah, nah, he was still pretty good in his first year of action. Definitely got to get that yards per carry up. That's for damn sure. And the last name up I got up on this list for the all rookie team is Jackson Dart. Look, man, this dude is a gamer. Okay, he is a gamer. He does the thing that me and you love to see from our fantasy quarterbacks, Jamar, and that's his ability to utilize his legs, man. Like that's the reason why the likes of Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, you know what I mean, Josh Allen. That's the reason why those guys always flirt with top 5 year in and year out, because of their ability to not only deliver the ball downfield, but to utilize their legs and to be able to find rushing touchdowns. If this man can stop, getting concussions, stop running so damn hard, you gotta learn how to slide, young fella. Gotta learn how to slide, young fella. You
Just
know what I mean?
excited.
Protect yourself. Oh, no, he is. And like, bro, I like his passion. I like his attitude towards the game, man. I like when he interviews and things of that nature. it just seems like that's a quarterback that you want to play for. Somebody that's going to put their body on the line. But sometimes it's bigger than that. You got to be smarter than that. You're playing against some of the best athletes in the world. You know what I mean? And those guys are ready to light you up with no hesitation. So just, I just hopefully he'll be able to play a little bit smarter going forward, because hopefully he has a long career, man. And Jackson Dart is going to be a name in which a lot of people are going to draft next year.
Oh yeah, his ADP is going to be high, probably higher, maybe a little bit higher than it should, but nevertheless, he's going to be a favorite.
Yep. And that'll do it, man. That's the all rookie list, man. So clap it up for those guys, man. I think a lot of those people, we're gonna be seeing them for a long time,
Indeed. All right, so close out this TD parlay. So this segment, one last time, is unofficially sponsored by FanDuel.
Let's do it.
I've been as you was doing the rookies, I was getting a jump start on this just to play around with it. We got 3 games today.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off with the Bills and Jags, which has a over under of 50.5. And so as of now,
Mm-hmm.
I've taken 2 names from that game, which is James Cook and Jacoby Myers. I definitely believe a lot of points going to be scored in that game. All right, second game.
Wait. So you don't like Travis Etienne against that very, very terrible Buffalo run defense?
I was thinking that as well. I mean, I definitely thought about it for sure. I'm just going value.
Okay.
I mean,
so what do you think? Cook on the love list, Myers on the like list?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and throw ETN up on the like. It's only 3 games, man. It's only 3 games.
Yeah, you can throw them on the like list. Yeah. So then the second game consists of the 49ers at Philly. Over under on that is 44.5.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, a little weird, right?
Yeah.
So I'm willing to throw CMC and Kittle on the list.
I'm okay with that. CMC got to be loved, man. We talking about, obviously, one of the most dynamic. He almost one of only 2 players, Jamar, to have 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Him and Bijan Robinson.
Speaking of Bijan, so on the All-Pro team, I didn't really notice. I guess it was on there for maybe a few years now. I didn't notice. Yep. So besides the positions, they have an all-purpose position on there.
Yep.
Which is
he made
insane.
First team All-Pro for running back, and he made second team for
all-purpose.
All-purpose. Yep.
Which is fucking insane.
Yep.
Crazy. So yeah, those 2 I really like from that game, CMC and Kittle. Then the last game, I want to roll the dice on Hunter Henry. I really do.
Okay. Oh, crap. We got 2 tight ends on here. That should definitely boost the...
Yeah. So, if I kept it at, the ones... I only have 5 on here that I'm in the lineup, but just definitely want your cosign. If I put Cook, Myers, McCaffrey, Kittle, and Hunter Henry, that's... Just so you know, $10 will get you $835.
So just those 5?
Yes. Now, if you want to play a little safer, I can remove Myers and see what ETN looks like. But that's without a boost. I have a 50% boost here.
Let's do that. Let's remove Myers and see what ETN looks like, just for the sake of it. Because so you said just a $5 bet? That's not $10?
No, that's a $10.
Okay. So that's a $10.
Where are you?
Because if that's the case, I'll just split the 2. Shit.
ETN. All right, so $10 will get you $511 with ETN.
I mean, that's cool too. That's cool too.
Let's see.
we want to? Do we want to dive into Monday or no?
Uh, do you feel confident on anybody on a TD on Monday?
Mm, I mean, it's two players that stand out for me: Kenny Gainwell and Nico Collins. Those are pretty much the only two. But obviously, I feel more confident in Nico than Kenny G. But the way that they utilize Kenny G, I can see him scoring in either way, whether it be a rushing TD or a receiving TD. Don't know which
Yeah.
one, but nah, you know what? I guess I kind of like the odds for today. It's not bad at all. So I guess I'll play it safe for today. Lead the Monday.
All right. So, uh, I guess for the last time I'll throw this in the Discord, but yeah. All right. So I'll screenshot it. I'll send it to you.
But
Cool. All right. So I guess with that being said, I guess one last time for the people, where can they find us?
man, you can basically find us anywhere where podcasts are found. You look it up, Destination Fantasy. We are there, streaming live right now on Facebook, Twitch, as well as YouTube. Make sure you check out all of our social media platforms, man. Like, share, subscribe, continue to rock with us. Join the Discord. That would be, Discord is, once this is over, we'll still be in the Discord. We'll be chopping things up, still spreading information. So make sure you guys check in with that. Big shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us, you know what I mean, all season. Whether you came in mid-season, late season, early season, if you just had a chance to actually stop by, check out the content, laugh with us, you know what I mean, share anything with us, share us like your W's and whatever the case may be. It's all greatly appreciated. I mean, from us to you, big thanks, man. Big thanks for the very last time this year. Shout out to everybody that took the title as well. Big shout out to my counterpart here, Jamar. I know how he likes to get down. He got 3 of them boys. You know what I mean? I was able to win one as well. My trophy, and my ring is on the way. But a very it's actually the second time that this happened in Dynasty as well. It's been a pretty good season overall. A lot of injuries and things of that nature, but being able to win Dynasty has made up for a subpar year for myself as well. But big shout out to you, Jamar, for bringing home 3 of them boys.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. One was a daunting week 18. That was never.
We got to cut that out, dog. We got to cut that out.
Woo. But yeah, like you said, shout out to the people that definitely joined us this year, no matter where you joined, or from people like that's been with us since the beginning, like 808.
Yep.
Like appreciate him for stopping by.
Oh.
To like newer people like the famous
Michael Bush. Famous, yeah.
Like,
to like our OGs too, man. Which one who chimed in today? Foxborough, man. Big shout out to Foxborough.
Man, absolutely. Yeah. That boy don't miss.
Yeah. He's been a weekly. I wondered if he win the title, bro. Is he in the Discord? Oh, did he?
I think he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to chop it up with him, see if he won the title or whatever. I know I wasn't here last week. Duty calls or whatever, but we just wanted to be able to do one last show, be able to close this thing out with the people that have supported us all this year. There's gonna be some big changes next year. You're gonna see a lot of collaborations between Jamar and myself, upgrades in many different ways. So please make sure you tap in next year. You definitely don't want to miss it. Him and myself, man. So early surprise, we will both be at the NFL Combine this year if God's willing. Make sure that everything goes right between him and I. We will be at the NFL Combine, and we will be talking football earlier this year. So please make sure you guys continue to start, to continue rocking with it.
Yes, sir. So, all right. So for the other people that's affiliated with the show, Walt, Ian. Sorry, Ian. It was BTA for you in the playoffs. Pause. Reed, my boy. And of course, my brother right here, Deshaun, I'm Jamar. We'll catch you all next season, but definitely, like you said, hang out with us in the Discord. We here. We definitely here. But until then,